Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We recently have seen several new updates go live in Warzone 2 and MW2 over the past few days, starting initially with the Season 1 update, which seems to have had some extra side effects, if you will, in terms of what it's changed in gameplay, causing some new secret updates to be put into play. Now, if you recall back during MW 2019 and Warzone 1 at the beginning, we saw a lot of updates like this where, sure, we saw our changes go live with the official patch notes and we saw some things that were updated there. But then there were also other things that were changed in game that were not mentioned in any patch notes. They were these stealth changes or these secret changes. We've got a few of those to go over now. I'm hoping that that does not become a trend this year and that communication is nice and transparent and consistent. We'll have to wait and see for future updates for that, though. On top of that, we also have some new content leaks regarding some pretty crazy stuff happening in MW2 and I believe in Warzone 2 as well, at least to a certain extent. And that could be starting as soon as this week, it seems. But let's start first with some of these secret changes. They are both big and small in some ways, I would say. The first change you might have noticed right after you got on after Season 1 dropped is that footstep audio was very different from before Season 1. In MW2 multiplayer and also Warzone, the footstep audio was prevalent. You could hear footsteps from very far away. It was very easy to tell if a player was rushing a certain area, going to be pushing through a certain choke point, so on and so forth. The footstep audio was very loud. This was actually something I noticed right as soon as the update went live and I was working on unlocking some of the new guns. And lo and behold, just a few hours later after the update went live, Exclusive Ace, who does some of the best in-depth testing specifically for multiplayer, confirmed that. He ended up tweeting out saying that he discovered that when he was testing some changes, the footstep audio peaks were infinitely louder than they were before Season 1 had that update go live for MW2, obviously. So the footstep audio was very loud after the update. It was mentioned in the patch notes that they had changed some things with gameplay dynamics and audio, but it wasn't specific. However, it seems like after about 24-36 hours of that update being live, they then pushed out a new update. They didn't say that this update was going out. It was just probably one of those game requires restart updates or hotfix updates that went out. And they ended up basically reverting and nerfing that audio update to footsteps to make them back more in line with where they were before Season 1, where they were relatively quiet. You know, being able to hear enemy footsteps was not as obvious as it was. Now, this is both good and bad because it made the footsteps quieter in multiplayer where I don't think they should be ridiculously loud like they were. I mean, it was probably a little bit too loud for, you know, standard multiplayer where you could tell exactly where every enemy was. But in Warzone, you should be able to hear footsteps relatively easily. And it seems like this audio update affects both games the same because presumably they're on the same application. This was an issue with MW 2019 and Warzone 1. It frustrates me beyond belief that we're back in the same situation. These games need to be on separate applications, but regardless, before I go off on a tangent, the audio in Warzone should be a little bit louder. The audio in multiplayer should probably be a little bit quieter, but now we're stuck with very quiet footsteps in both games, in each game. And in multiplayer, it kind of works like you can still hear footsteps here and there depending on the surface that the enemies are running on. However, in Warzone, it's basically impossible to tell if an enemy's running up on you, which is quite disappointing because initially the footstep audio was very, very solid, but that is one of the secret changes that took place there. There is no longer that crazy loud footstep audio. It's now back to pretty quiet, maybe even quieter than before. Now, another secret change that is a bit smaller, but one that is definitely good news for a lot of players is that it seems like they're starting to unlock some of the glitched attachments that we have in game. Back from launch, even there were several attachments for various different guns, sometimes an underbarrel, sometimes a stock, in this case an optic, that was bugged out for everyone. It was not unlockable even if you max leveled every single gun in the game. In this case, we are talking about the Slimline Pro optic, which is basically like your standard reflex sight, your standard red dot sight from MW 2019. Great optic, but it was locked for everyone. Even after the Season 1 update, it actually updated to say unlocked for the lockman at level 11. But then if you had that leveled up, it still wasn't unlocking. So they have actually gone through and pushed another secret update live to actually unlock the Slimline optic for everyone now. So you can actually throw this on your loadouts, which again, is good news that that is now available. It's just not great news that it is available through an update that they didn't decide to say anything about, which again, I really hope that we're not trending back into those style of updates. But a few secret changes, a few secret updates that went live over the past few days. Next up, we have some pretty crazy leaks. And before we get into those, just want to remind you guys that if you are new to the channel, or if you're a part of the 60% of viewers who have not already subscribed, every single day, I got you covered with news, updates, class setups, tips, all things going on in COD. And we are getting super close to 900,000 subscribers. We're about 10,000 subs away. We're getting right to that point there. So if you want to help us reach that goal before the end of the month, you want to guarantee you're always up to date with all things going on in COD, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. And if you enjoy this one, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated, and it does really help grow the channel. Let's try and aim for 3,000 likes on this one. Easy like goals for y'all. Y'all have been crushing these every single video, so I do seriously appreciate it. But let's move on to these very interesting leaks. Now, we know for a fact it's been confirmed that we have a World Cup crossover coming up for Modern Warfare 2, presumably Warzone 2 in terms of the operator section, and the World Cup, or you know, soccer, football, whatever it is called in your country, right? We know for a fact that we are going to get a Neymar operator, a Pogba operator, and then also a Messi operator as well. These are actually going to start dropping later on this week. Neymar is dropping on the 21st, Pogba is dropping on the 25th, and then on the 29th, we're going to see the Messi operator. Now, again, that's confirmed. That's been known for a bit. But in addition to these football operators or soccer operators, it seems we're also getting a brand new LTM and sort of new mini event in game for the World Cup crossover. There is, according to various data miners, and it's been corroborated by Tom Henderson and Insider Gaming, we're going to see some sort of Rocket League style mode where you can drive around on ATVs in Modern Warfare 2 and score goals. And that's going to be a COD Ball LTM, limited time mode, for this World Cup crossover. Something that is absolutely ridiculous for Call of Duty gameplay, driving around like it's Rocket League, but it does appear to be coming here pretty soon. We don't know the exact date. Like I said, since these football operators and soccer operators are dropping this week, presumably the LTM sort of, you know, to tie in with these operators will be dropping around the same time. So perhaps we see that if we do see an update with that content this week. Obviously, we're going to be covering it here on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But we apparently have this Rocket League LTM coming to gameplay. We're not sure if that's going to be available in Warzone and MW2, or just Warzone, or just MW2. That's details we'll have once it's officially announced. Also, on top of the Rocket League mode, there's apparently going to be an in-game sort of event where you can actually take a guess as to who you think is going to win the World Cup. You can, you know, pick your favorite team or pick whatever team you think is going to do the best, and there will apparently be some kind of reward if you accurately predict the winner, or if your team that you choose ends up doing well. We're not sure what those rewards are going to be. If I had to guess, maybe a new calling card, maybe a new emblem, maybe some double XP. I can't imagine it would be anything crazy, but some new rewards nonetheless for trying to, you know, predict correctly who is going to win the World Cup. So, bit of a new crossover event, and we got some more details on that. Like, we know the event is coming up. Now we know even more about what it's going to bring to gameplay here pretty soon. As we get any official information on this update or any other new updates dropping here in the next few days, I'll have you guys covered. Going to be a bit interesting with the holiday week coming up to see how many changes, how many updates we actually get to gameplay. Obviously, Warzone 2 and MW2 each have a lot of issues still going on with stability, with all sorts of gameplay bugs and glitches. So I'm hoping we still see some consistent patches go out, but we'll have to wait and see. As anything becomes available, though, I'm going to have you guys covered with all the latest news, updates, class setups, tips, all things you need to know for MW2, Warzone 2, and DMZ. So if you want to guarantee you're up to date with all of that, feel free to hit that subscribe button and join us on the road to 900,000 subs. And if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. That is going to wrap things up for today. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL for that spicy discount on all Scuf, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products, and the links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.